All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm still here in the yurt. I just changed my position a little bit. The sun was starting to set and kind of getting in my eyes where I was at over there, so changed my view a little bit. But so anyway, so yeah, I went into Creed, great town. I'd go back and hang out and just spend a little bit more time exploring around. Beautiful town. Had a couple of parks like built into Main Street, art exhibits, like memorials for soldiers. It's just a neat town. So definitely stop and check it out if you get the chance. Um, so I got back up on trail, camped out with the old German guy. Got up and I actually got going before he did. He apparently likes to have a hot beverage in the morning, so he took the time to fire up his stove, and I just had a handful of cold granola and was getting going. Um, Took off over this expanse. I'll post the videos because I took a couple of shorter ones. Came up over this, ridge line, I call them, but they're basically passes out here. And wide open, area, big bowl I had to walk around. And I see a storm coming in. This week, there's storms coming in like every day. It's this weather system that, from here to Silverton, there's going to be weather coming in every day. So I'm expecting that. Not an issue. I'll deal with it. Um, so I ran into my first snow yesterday, like actual real snow, not just like spit and flurries, but like snow coming down. Didn't last very long, but I was cutting across this wide open stretch, ironically called Snow Mesa. And, it's like 12,500 feet, 12,700. I mean, it's high up there. There's no brush, there's no trees, and it's flat and just barren except for like the moss and the lichen and the rocks. But I'll post the videos, you'll be able to see it. But this kind of gives you some little backstory to it. Heading out across this area, like miles and miles of it. I think it was like a 4 mile stretch that I had to hike across this mesa. Um, Winds blowing, snowing. Stopped, put on all my gear, and found a creek that actually was flowing. Restocked on my water because, as I keep complaining about, and some people comment that they don't want to hear it anymore. Well, that's what's going on. Uh, got filled up, started hiking again, and it's one of those like sleet snow deals, but it wasn't like a whiteout, but it was coming down pretty good. Kind of like that first icy November storm that we get back home. Kind of a mix, snow, sleet, rain, kind of that. Half hour later, I'm past it. It's blown past me. The sun's shining. I'm boiling in my rain gear, so I stop, take that stuff off, pack it back up, and it's getting to the point where it's hot. I'm sweating again, trucking across this mesa, and then just like that, canyon drops away below, and down you go. It's done. It ends in this forested, you know, big wide open valley. So I start heading down, and off to the distance, there's an elk bull just going to town. And so I kind of played with them a little bit. I'm not real good with my cow call, but apparently it was good enough because I got him interacting with me as I was walking down this canyon. And I got thinking, well, maybe that was a hunter who was calling, and then I call back, and he thinks he's got something going on. But hindsight, I don't think it was. Just I've heard enough elk bugling over the years that I'm pretty sure that was an actual elk. But I thought it was fun. It was funny. So I get down to the bottom, get to a trailhead. Had some cell service, so I called the wife and talked to her for a minute and sent out a couple of texts, and then back up the next rise, because it seems like every time you come down you got to start right back up. Uh, Got up to a spot where there was a little creek and called it a day. It got really cold at the end of the day yesterday, and I didn't really want to get back up onto another one of these wide open flat mesas, because in this section there's kind of a series. So you go down into this nice forested, protected, valley, but then you come up onto this wide open, like from a Clint Eastwood, Pale Rider, High Plains Drifter kind of thing, where there's just nothing but scrub, and it's wide open for like miles that you're hiking across this. And it's kind of pretty because you have these oceans of the scrub oak. And when you're really high up, they're only about knee high. And you're walking through them and you can see the little trails that the different animals, have made. But as you get a little bit lower elevation, back down to that, 12,000 feet, 11,500, the oaks, the scrub gets taller, it gets shoulder high, head high. And I noticed today that, I'm in this vast field, acres and acres and acres, square miles of this stuff. It's like a maze. And if you didn't have a path that you knew you were following, and you didn't have the sun, if it was an overcast day where just everything was gray, and you couldn't see any above to see any peaks around you for reference, a guy could really kind of get spun around and lost in one of these patches, and it'd take you hours to get out to where you could figure out where you were and where you needed to go. So it was a neat experience. I enjoyed it because I was on a trail, and I'm tall enough where I could see, which ranges were where, and the sun was out. So, but it just, it was a little surreal for a second there. So, I'm trucking on through, and then, come back down to another valley, and then here I am at this yurt. So, that's kind of, everybody's up to speed. Tomorrow, I'm going to get up early and get a push on that next mesa. It contains the high point of the entire trail, like 13,111 feet, something like that. So I will post once I get there. There's a sign. I'll do a selfie so you guys can see that I'm actually there. Not that you guys would doubt that I'm actually doing this, but that's the agenda for tomorrow, is to really get an early start, since I don't have to pack up a wet, frosty tent like I did this morning. Because of course, it rained a little last night and then everything froze. I aired it all out here. You can kind of see I still have the tent hanging up, the rain fly getting aired out and dried out. So I'll be able to get an early start tomorrow, get a good push in the morning up onto that mesa, hopefully get across it before these afternoon storms that have been coming in every day coming again, because they're gonna, and hopefully get back down into some cover before the next one comes in. And the next couple of days, really, from here to Silverton, are going to be kind of like that. These high level patches with a little bit of a dip, and then back up again. Up in the Sierra, we're up. I think the next 30 miles of the trail, most of it's above 12,000 feet. So get some really good views, and I'll take some video and kind of, let you guys see what I'm seeing. But that's where we're at. So again, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Hopefully you guys are enjoying kind of keeping up with what I got going on. That's, my intention is to kind of share my experience with the folks back home and whoever else wants to experience it. Definitely appreciate the subscriptions. Appreciate the likes. And I'll catch you guys around.